Hello and welcome back to another episode of my comic book corner, where I take a look at the comic books that I picked up on my latest trip to the comic shop, which was on the 17th of February. Whatever day I'm showing this, that's when I went, that's when I picked this stuff up. So let's just get started, shall we? So, I know it's a bit creased up, but let's not worry about that too much. Let's take a look at what the comic shop beheld me today, or when I went anyway. So first up is Spawn Unplugged, Batman Spawn Unplugged. Obviously, a little while ago we did get the Batman and Spawn crossover. This isn't the first time the two characters have met. They did probably about 20 odd years ago, actually. But this here, Unplugged, is actually a sort of black and white version with no words. It's just the art, uncoloured. So sort of a rough version, shall we say, which is actually quite nice. You know, you can see the art before it's been given its colour depth in the comic. And it's a nice looking, you know, unworded, just the art. What can I say? Yes, so I picked that up because it, you know, just to go with the other editions of this comic that I've got. It was a nice addition to the editions. Next up, we have the latest issue of Walking Dead Deluxe, and I am considering stopping this because I do have all of the Walking Dead comics in their original black and white form, which were great, and it's been great revisiting them, but do I need to buy them again with colour? I mean, I've got so far into it that, you know, I don't know. Should I stop? It's Abraham there. If you watch the TV show, you'll know who that is. Yeah, so I might consider putting this one to an end. Nice covers though, from Robert Kirkman, Charlie Adlard, Dave McCaig. Then next up, a new Masters of the Universe comic book, which I was looking forward to. Always a fun read. Masterverse. Masters of the Universe, Masterverse. Young Prince Adam. Kind of a nostalgia thing, sort of reading these. But I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure if this is more inclined. I don't know why it turns sort of comic-y like that halfway through, but there we go. So I don't know if this is based upon the new animated series or whether it's the old or what. But always a fun read nonetheless. Yeah. Then we have Blade Runner 2039 here. Latest issue, issue number 3 from Titan Comics. Let's take a look through this one. I don't want to have to plug my phone in because the battery's about to die, which isn't good. Let me just skip to the end of this. I like Blade Runner in comic form and the stories that it has to offer within the Blade Runner world. Always have a nice time revisiting this universe. Black Lotus from the anime series. Some different covers. Next issue, March 23. 10 out of 10, a must read from Bleeding Cool. Pretty perfect, really captures the spirit, the feel and even the look of the classic movie, but heads off in a different direction, world building as it goes. Yeah. Good accolades. So next up is Batman Beyond the White Knight, or Batman Beyond the White Knight. Yeah, sort of futuristic take on Batman. Batman Beyond from the animated TV show. Nice to see the Burton Batmobile in there. An aged Batman. One thing I'll say about DC, they have consistently better art than what Marvel do, I will say that. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker. Okay. Yeah, decent. DC Black Label. Black Label's kind of more an adult orientated storytelling. Then we have Red Sonja, Hell Sonja, which is sort of a Red Sonja spin-off comic, a bit more horror-esque, shall we say, elements to it. I did recently do a watch of Red Sonja, the movie, on Gareth's Video Tasties channel, where we discussed the film and some of the comic book history and things like that. Draculina. Yeah. Then we have here, I have two copies of this, two different covers. I got this cover and I like the Batmobile cover. This is Batman The Adventure Continues, Season 3, which is like a comic book continuation of the animated TV show, which I'm a huge fan of. So I like, you know, even back when they used to do Batman the Animated Series comic book, I always used to read them, and yeah, it's nice sort of, again, revisiting that sort of world. Funny paper stock on that. That one there. So it's like it's not got the glossy paper. It feels like it's more going back to what comic book paper used to be. And smelling it as well. It could go that way, actually. Funny. Odd. But then we have here Fantastic Four, issue 4, with a cover by the fantastic artist Alex Ross, who actually drew the covers to the Steelbook Universal Monster releases, not the 4K ones, the Blu-ray ones that came before that. Fantastic artist. Venom Lethal Protector 2. Lethal Protector, when Venom first came about, there was a Lethal Protector story not long ago, but Venom's first solo comic back in the day was actually called Lethal Protector, drawn by Mark Bagley. So yeah, so Fantastic Four. Jabba's Palace comic book. Who is plotting to overthrow Jabba the Hutt? It's that little torture droid, isn't it? That one there. It looks like one of the little sort of torture droids. More stumpy. And then we have Gunslinger Spawn. And to be honest, I do have 2 issues of that because I loved both covers. Yeah, it's a Gunslinger, but it's Gunslinger Spawn. So let's take a look inside. Issue 17 from Image. Again, fabulous artwork. In Spawn comics always have strong art. I can't fault the artwork in a Spawn comic. Obviously Todd McFarlane back in the day used to draw Spawn himself and write it. Still go with this. This was a mainstay of the Spawn comics. These sort of news reports from years back. I mean, look at that image. Fantastic. It's just Superb. She spawned now. Great stuff, great stuff. 2 more titles to go. So from Zenoscope, this is a 72-page Grimm Universe Quarterly, Cinderella Fairy World Massacre. Zenoscope's Grimm Fairy Tales are comics that I've read from day one of their conception. The first issue's got very, very low print runs. I do have them in first print form and all that. They're a bit different, and then turned into this world of sort of fairy tale characters, and a dark spin to a lot of it, you know. Almost horror-esque. It's almost like they were trying to go for... I would have said that it would have made a good TV series, what they were doing back in the day. It's like they were sort of working towards that, you know, hoping... I think they were hoping to get sort of franchised in that manner, is what I would say. But certainly would be a different spin on a lot of it with what they do. It's nice to be flicking through this, and there's no adverts, it's just pages of content. Wonderful. Just adverts at the back. Zenoscope Horror there. Yeah, and these were the 3 covers that were up for choice. Then last but certainly not least, we have Spider-Man, issue 5. End of the Spider-Verse Part 5. And you mentioned the name Mark Bagley, who first drew Venom. He's actually the artist in here, and he's a long-time Spider-Man artist. He worked on Spider-Man back in the day, Ultimate Spider-Man when that came about. And his art has always stayed very much as it is, and it's just, he's a fantastic Spider-Man artist. Like I said, he done the first Lethal Protector. Had Silk there. One of the Spider-Verse type of characters. Vulture, Craven, sort of Sandman a few pages back, Flash Thompson. So yeah, good stuff. So there we go. That's that was my pickups from when I went on the 17th. There we go, just a quick look at the comics that I picked up on my last trip to the comic shop. Yeah. That's it. Comment section open down below, and I shall speak to you all soon. Take care and goodbye.